What's going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XLM to US dollars. We're also going to be looking at Litecoin outperforming top crypto assets. Once again, what could the breakout of the $50 level lead to? Like if we break this crucial $50 resistance level, where could we go to? So that's what we're going to be looking at today. Yes, you guys will be noticing, on the charts today that we are seeing some sort of correction, some sort of pullback. Prices are dipping. Why is that? We're going to get into that. If any of that sounds, familiar to you guys and you want to learn a little bit more about that, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up if you like the content, and watch the video to the end because we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. So guys, I'm on the current coin market cap, and as you guys can see, a bunch of things are happening right now. So we have a Bitcoin dominance of 52%, comparing that to yesterday, which we were lower at around 51.85%. So we're seeing Bitcoin dominance start to increase, which means crypto, Bitcoin in specific, is not really getting affected by this pullback as much as altcoins are. Altcoins are getting hit a little bit harder. 24-hour volume is 26.9, which is still fairly high. So we are seeing that volume stay up there. So there is some activity happening within the exchanges. Let me see a market cap of 133.08 or 0.03. So compared to the 134.7 we saw yesterday, we saw about almost 2 billion leave the exchanges. So we're going to see a slight pullback and a pretty decent amount of red across the board. And as you guys can see, out of these top 10 cryptos, they are all in red. And that pullback was expected, and it kind of was planned because of the fact that we've had such beautiful green markets for so long. Now, actually, the entire market is taking kind of a swing in the downwards direction, but it's definitely a healthy, natural, respective decline. It was anticipated. I've been calling it, and I'll explain why in a second. So yes, yesterday I was saying it was going to break and go downwards, and a lot of people were like, well, duh. But, we could trade sideways, we could, flatline, we can continue to go up. But I said it was going to pull back down. Took a tiny bit longer than I expected, which was pretty much another couple hours. But we are starting to see that pullback now, and that degress in price. Out of those top 10 cryptos, Bitcoin only down by 0.8. And you can see the other cryptos, out of the 10, we're down 1, 2, 4, 3, 2.7%. So a lot more than Bitcoin is. Litecoin at 48.91, down 4%. There's a good reason for that. It also went up the most. So to see the a higher pullback kind of makes sense out of the top 10 coins. It's actually, Litecoin is the number one loser, I guess, today. It is falling the most out of the top 10 coins. It is down the most compared to the rest. Moving on though, so I do want to discuss with you guys, actually really quick, if you haven't already, check the link out below. It's a link to ABRA, basically. Super quick. If you deposit $5 of USD, they will reward you with $25 upon sign up. So definitely check that out. But otherwise, the Litecoin outperforming top crypto assets. Again, what could the breakout of crucial $50, that $50 level lead to? So Litecoin lifted during the Asian trading time. So there are different markets. We have, the Litecoin, the U.S. United States market. We have all these other markets in different areas, different countries, and now we're seeing it within the Asian population. So over the past 24 hours, Litecoin volume has surpassed 1.5 billion, which is over double that of XRP, 2 places ahead of it in the market cap charts. I actually wanted to kind of see that. I know it's a little bit deep right now, but the volume for XRP is, only 640 million. Litecoin is 1.3, so it is around double that. That's actually pretty wild. But the moment has taken a price from below $48 to just over $51, where it currently trades and represents 6.5% on the day, which has taken Litecoin back over to 3 billion. We are starting to see that pullback. Today the market. This article is a little bit earlier into this morning, so we're starting to see that pullback now, and the article is a little bit delayed. But since mid-December lows, which as we know was $24, if you did, or $23, if you bought in then, you would have doubled your money right now. So if you had 10 grand in Litecoin was 23. Now the fact that we broke to 50, you would have more than doubled your money, and that 10 grand would have been closer to like $22,000. So Litecoin has made a staggering 120% recovery. That's huge to its current level. And in comparison to Bitcoin, which only managed 24% recovery, Ethereum has done better with 75%. Litecoin, though, being that top gainer. This is quite remarkable for an altcoin that everyone gave up on when the creator Charlie Lee sold his stash at the peak. Granted, Litecoin is so long way, down from where its height was, at $400, but a recovery of 120% in just about 2 months is staggering for any crypto asset in the depths of a bear market. So to see the fact that we're up 120%, you could have doubled your money. That's absolutely wild and so volatile in literally less than 2 months. So Litecoin, often dubbed as a silver to Bitcoin's gold, has been the stalwart of the crypto world, having hung around since its inception in 2011. So Bitcoin was created in 2009, this is 2011. When it was forked from Bitcoin to provide a lighter, faster version of the digital currency. 2017, Litecoin broke and stayed above 50 for around 3 months before it lifted and surged 250% in just 2 weeks in December. Lee, as usual, has been talking it up, and he did put out a tweet recently saying that Litecoin's trying its best to lead all of the cryptocurrencies out of this bear market, and then he hashtagged UFC, Mammoth Film, Confidential Transaction, Mimblewimble, all these different companies he's partnering with. So we're definitely seeing some growth within the charts, and it's awesome. So where is Litecoin next? It's likely different though, as investments will be slowed to steady. But $100 Litecoin this year does not seem all that difficult to go up to. The fact that we just went up 120%, it's very possible for it to do it again, and we could see an end of year $150 Litecoin very easily. So shifting our focus now, guys, to the Litecoin charts. Before I hop into the charts, guys, I do want to just shout out everyone who has joined my Patreon for access of these charts. Thanks to all of you. This is possible. But if you guys haven't signed up for Patreon, it's a way to get access to all of my specific trading charts with live updates and my personal cell phone and personal videos specifically to you in a way to improve your crypto trading advice and crypto trading portfolio, and just to hopefully give you guys a better overall view of the market and help you guys really graph and chart by yourself, because that's the point. But otherwise, guys, moving on, Litecoin, what are we seeing? Very obvious. Litecoin on the 4 hour. We have this uptrend. We saw that, and it started to act as a resistance when it flip-flopped. You can see that there is this uptrend, and you can see where we had a resistance. Not only did we test that uptrend, but you can see we also tested a resistance line at $46, where that green arrow is. I'm going to delete that right now. I'm going to delete this green arrow right now. But you can see what I'm referring to. This was a resistance. When we hit that, we broke above, which was surprising to me, but we traded on that. We went up a little higher to 48, but we came right back down and actually a little bit below it to $46. So this was definitely an indication that there was going to be some action that happened there. Now, the biggest thing was the fact that we continued up higher. And I did say we were going to 50. Hopefully you guys saw that in yesterday's video. In the beginning of the video, I did a little meme, a little funny inference to when I did say last week that Litecoin was bound to go to $50. That was right over here. When we were testing here, I said we were going to head back up. And we did. The issue is we have, not only were we extremely overbought, not only were we above the high-low MMA, not only do we have lower volume here, the issue is we have a resistance at 51 and we have an uptrend at 51. Two extremely strong resistance points. And I told you guys I did profit off and sell into XLM, and I did cash out on XLM. So I am up quite a bit, and I am pretty proud of myself for that. But I am actually going to be buying in soon. Not only are we looking fairly nice on Litecoin's 4 hour at around 52. Honestly, I can see this coin heading back down to potentially $46, or because of how overextended it is compared to its high-low MMA, it may actually test potentially $44 to $46 once again as the high-low MMA catches up. But moving on, that was a called dip. and you can see how much of a retracement we're seeing now. You can see we are also extremely overextended, and I'm actually going to draw this line up even further because it does seem to be, corresponding with the graph so well. You can see where we started, much resistance, and now you can see where it's, or much support. We used this to climb our way up, and then we broke through, and then we used it as a resistance, and we can't get above that. So we may actually get sandwiched through. That green band is trying to cross over that red band, which is an indication we're entering a more bullish market. We can also see the double top in terms of Litecoin on its daily RSI. You could see we have 1 and now 2. So it is very possible we could break bearish and fall, and it is possible we could fall all the way down to $40. Like I said, I do think we're a bit overextended. We may come down to $46, and my honest plan for you guys is once again to start dollar cost averaging. I will start my investment into Litecoin if and when we pull down to $46, and then I will stop when we hit $39 because I think that's the lowest. So as soon as it goes to 46, I'll start putting in 44, 41, and then 40. And that will average me out for the next time we test the high-low MMA. We start to spring back up because guess what, guys? When we lead into the future, you can see the uptrend does go farther away. So you can see it was a very interesting point where we hit, not only did we have this resistance at 51, but we also had an uptrend resistance that kind of hit at the same point, which does become problematic. But if we trade sideways and consolidate out on the 46, we're only going to have one resistance, and then it's very possible for us to break out and hit $65 instead of 50. So it's huge, guys. Plenty of potential there. Bitcoin looking quite well too. You can see it is slowly pulling back down. You could see, wow, on the 4 hour, the extreme amount of sideways movement. That is actually wild to look at. Extreme sideways movement getting clustered into this downwards channel, and then, or the, I forgot exactly what it's called, but in this downwards channel right here, you can see bam and bam, and then it finally broke bullish when it got sandwiched between the downtrend as well as the high-low MMA. Got sandwiched right there, and bam, we popped out. And you can see where it's having some issues right now. You can see in the past, back January 6th, we were trading out sideways here before we broke bearish. That's kind of what we're hitting right now at around $4,000. So $4,000 is a pretty big resistance for Bitcoin, and honestly, I just think we need some consolidation because we were overbought, and now we're kind of falling back into the more neutral territory. But I do think we need to trade sideways a bit and then meet up with our high-low MMA on the 4 hour. I do just want to jump out to the weekly. I know it's kind of a stretch, but I do want to show you guys there is still a big ass, excuse the French, a big ass downtrend. You can see beautifully on Bitcoin, and I do think that we are definitely leading up to something that could be potentially very, very, very big. What I mean by that is you can see how we've always been above the high-low MMA, that green and red band, but you can see because we're below it now, like I say in all the charts, we're bound to move back up and retest it. So honestly, I honestly think it's a beautiful time to be into crypto. The fact that we are nowhere near overextended, like, it's obvious. I don't know why people bought in here. They just FOMO bought. But because we are so low, honestly, in a year from now, if it takes that long, it could literally be the end of July and we would be back up to that green band, and your investment at 38 would now be $5,500. That's a pretty big jump. That's about $2,000. So you could make quite a bit of money. Lastly, so that's what I'm saying. We are testing. We're trying to head back up and test the downtrend. And if we break bullish, which I think we are, we're going to head right back up to 5,500. You can make around $2,000 very easily. So shifting focus, you can see what I called yesterday too. Ethereum is now stuck in between its high-low middle moving averages. Not only did we start to pull back down into neutral levels, we are still nearing overbought, but we are now stuck in between this green and red band in terms of the high-low MMA. And I think we're going to use this green band as a support for the next couple of days. Hopefully we can ride on the red band, but I think we're going to get trapped in between here. The market right now needs sideways trading and sideways stability before it decides to move up anywhere. Lastly, guys, to end on a good note, I guess I wouldn't call it a good note. An issue with XLM is we did double top. You can see there is a resistance up here at 0.095. We swung up, hit it, came back to another support, which I could draw in right now. I just noticed that. So for those of you who have access to my live charts on Patreon, you should be getting all of this. You can see not only did we hit the top, pulled back down to a support, we hit it again, and now we're falling. So we could actually break this bearish trend, break this support, and fall down to potentially 0.085. Be expected. I did sell off at around 0.092. I know that's kind of in the middle. I did not expect it to go up to 0.095, but it did. Otherwise, hopefully you guys liked today's episode. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notification, leave a giant thumbs up if you like the content, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's episode. Peace.